The tall grass hides a lone hunter, as fast as lightning, as silent as the night. But this time, he is surrounded. The pack comes, silent but fierce. The battle begins, one against all. There is no turning back. Botswana. The fierce battle between the Lone Ranger and the pack. Botswana. The heart of the wild. Where rivers thought to have disappeared in the desert come back to life after the rain, and where life quietly rises from the mud. On the flooded Okavango savanna, the call of survival rings out every dawn. Herds of antelopes drink cautiously, the shadows of predators lurking at every step. Botswana is not only a land of wilderness, but also one of the most pristine and complex ecosystems left on the planet. On this journey, we will uncover untold secrets, exploring the strange connections between hunter and prey. Witness a world where every living thing must fight to survive. Hidden among the dense trees, a tall, silent figure moves slowly. Leopard. The lonely and patient predator. They are the embodiment of elegance and death. Its golden fur is dotted with round black spots like wild daisies, helping it to almost disappear into the light and dark patches of grassland and jungle. Its body is slim and flexible like a living silk ribbon. Each step is light, almost silent. Under the soft skin is a system of strong and flexible muscles, allowing it to move with almost absolute precision. Its small head, erect ears and amber eyes always shine brightly when observing its prey. Sharp teeth and retractable claws are the killing weapons, carefully protected until the moment of attack. Unlike lions or wild dogs, which hunt in groups, leopards are solitary hunters. Silence is their ally. Darkness is their cloak. And each attack is prepared by hours of intense stalking. In the Okavango Delta, where tall grass and dense shade form a natural maze, leopards are masters of stealth. Their favorite prey is the impala. They have agile legs and a keen sense of smell, but a moment of inattention can be useless. As the last rays of the afternoon sun beat down, the leopard began to move. It approached bit by bit, low to the ground, using every obstacle for cover. Ahead, an impala was grazing, unaware that eyes were fixed on its every move. Then suddenly, the leopard leaps forward at lightning speed. After a few minutes of chasing, the antelope cannot escape. A precise bite cuts off the struggle, ending the hunt. Only the heavy breathing of the predator, and the leopard drags the carcass towards the bush, looking for a safe place away from the robbers. In the wild, victory does not mean absolute safety. But now, only it and the worthy reward after many hours of silent waiting. In Botswana, every sunset reminds us that beauty and cruelty go hand in hand, inseparable. As the dry season gradually ends and the first rains water the land of Botswana, the leopard enters its mating season. Without the roars or fierce fighting of lions, the big cat's search for a mate is quiet but intense. The male follows a pheromone scent trail to find a female in heat. They spend several days together, mating several times an hour to ensure conception. After the male leaves, the female raises the new life alone. Gestation lasts about 3 months. In the shade of dense bushes or rocky crevices, she gives birth to 1 to 3 blind and weak cubs. When they are strong enough to climb, the cubs follow their mother to learn how to stalk and hunt. And after the mother leopard's hunt, the baby leopard learns how to hunt from a distance. The mother leopard uses all her muscle strength to pull the prey up a tree, away from potential robbers. Just like this is for the child waiting for a full meal. However, the ground has never been peaceful for too long. The smell of fresh prey has attracted a group of robbers without having to spend effort hunting. African wild dogs are one of the most intelligent and organized predators in the wild world. Their bodies are slender but sturdy, about 60 to 75 centimeters tall from the shoulder, with 4 long legs that help them run long distances. Their characteristic fur, mottled between 3 colors, earthy yellow, black and white, is unique. Like a natural fingerprint, it helps to identify individuals in the pack. Their large, round ears like plates not only help to dissipate heat, but also enhance their ability to hear at long distances. Wild dogs do not hunt alone. They are masters of team tactics. A pack can range from 6 to 20 individuals, sometimes more, with a clear social structure. The alpha pair breeds and the remaining individuals support, care for the young, and share food. After the leopard hunt, the African wild dogs have picked up the scent of new prey. The pack moves as a unified unit, communicating with hisses, short cries and body gestures. Hunger urges them to gather around the base of the tree, where the feast still smells of fresh blood. The pack of wild dogs surrounds the base of the tree, eyes raised to follow every movement of the leopard above. A few start to jump up the tree trunk, scratching at the rough bark, creating a threatening rustling sound. The pack rushed towards the impala carcass without realizing it. The leopard had disappeared from the canopy. The air seemed to freeze in a breath. The two sides suddenly charged at each other. The fight broke out. The fatal bite left a wild dog unable to fight back. The wild dogs only had time to fight back to protect their own kind. But it was all too late. As the dust settled and the sounds of the battle faded into the distance, another scene appeared, peaceful and emotional. At the edge of the forest, where the gentle sunlight filtered through the sparse foliage, a female leopard was resting on a sun-warmed rock. Beside it, two cubs, with pale grey fur with indistinct black spots, were playing, nipping at each other's tails and climbing onto their mother's back. Each awkward jump, each fall was an early lesson in the strength, agility, and silence needed to survive. A little further away, in an open space where bright light shone through the acacia trees, a troop of baboons was gathering noisily. They were much larger than ordinary monkeys, with sturdy bodies, long teeth, and greyish-brown fur covering their bodies. Their black bare faces with deep-set eyes and long protruding snouts gave them a wild and powerful appearance. The dominant male, who could weigh more than 30 kilograms, sat towering among the grass like a warrior guarding his territory. His curved tail and strong limbs helped them move quickly and fight effectively when necessary. Baboons are primates that live in tight groups with a clearly hierarchical social structure. They are not just vegetarians. Intelligent and organized omnivores, baboons hunt using tactics rarely seen in other primates. When they spot small prey such as hares, lizards, or even young monkeys of other species, the entire troop will surround and coordinate to corner them. Large males usually lead the attack. With their sharp teeth and powerful bite, they can finish off their prey in seconds. The food is then divided among the priority individuals in the group, especially the leader and the female who is raising her young. Baboons breed all year round, but the peak season usually falls during the rainy season, when food is abundant and the environment is more favorable for the development of the young. The female is pregnant for about 6 months before giving birth to a single baby. In the first days after birth, the baby clings tightly to its mother's belly, eyes wide open, hands and feet firmly grasping every hair on her body. This attachment lasts for months. Every step, every jump, is the first lesson in survival, learned right on the mother's back. The maternal bond in a baboon group is a strong bond, but not enough to fight all dangers. In an ecosystem teeming with predators, baboons, despite their intelligence, organization, and willingness to fight back, are still tempting targets for other carnivores. But baboons are not the only characters on this fierce stage. As the trees begin to thin and the grasslands stretch to the horizon, a different face of the predator emerges. Silent and dangerous in a completely different way. Spotted hyenas are complex social carnivores with incredible intelligence, often mistaken for scavengers. Their muscular bodies, high shoulders and forelimbs, longer than their hind legs, give them a characteristic crouch-like gait, like those of a lurker. Their greyish-brown fur, covered with irregular black spots, round ears and glowing eyes at night, make them easy to spot in the savanna wilderness. The hyena's teeth are among the most powerful in the mammalian world, with enough bite force to crush large bones and turtle shells. But what makes this species truly dangerous is not its individual strength, but its ability to coordinate in packs. A pack of hyenas can number up to 30 individuals, led by a dominant female with a unique matriarchal social structure among carnivores. The appearance of the spotted hyena is always a haunting for every solitary carnivore in Botswana. Where a screech of laughter is the beginning of a nightmare, a war of dominance. The sun has just set behind the horizon. The atmosphere becomes thick. The wind stops blowing. In the quiet darkness, the yellow eyes of the leopard flash between the leaves. It is resting. From afar, laughter echoes through the clearing. A pack of spotted hyenas is approaching. Their eyes glow in the darkness. Their heavy footsteps on the dry grass make a steady sound, confident and threatening. They have smelled the prey that has just been killed by the leopard. An opportunity. They slowly walk forward. The leopard backed away slowly. Its golden eyes were still fixed on the hyenas that were hissing excitedly around the carcass. From the bushes it lowered itself, its entire body almost melting into the dark brown ground. Several large hyenas stepped closer to the prey, lowering their heads in complacency. In that moment, the leopard launched itself. But this time, the leopard could do nothing but retreat before the numbers and aggression of the spotted hyenas. In the distance, in the middle of the clearing, the leopard silently watched. It did not roar. It did not turn around. Because in the world of the lonely, sometimes survival is not about strength, but about the instinct to stop before the edge of death. But out there, in the vast, sunlit grasslands with no place to hide, another predator is preparing for its own life and death race. More slender, more daring, but also more fragile in the face of surrounding dangers. Cheetah. Master of speed. A warrior of the open space. With With a slender body and 4 long legs, it is the perfect embodiment of speed and grace. Its pale yellow fur is dotted with black spots. Its black-rimmed eyes extend from the corners of its eyes to its muzzle, creating a fierce yet proud look. Unlike the leopard's silent stalking, the cheetah chooses to face its prey in the open space. Just one acceleration is enough to determine victory or defeat. It can accelerate from 0 to 100 km/h in just a few seconds. But the price to pay for that explosion is the exhaustion of its physical strength after each chase. The cheetah does not have the strength to fight for a long time, nor does it have claws sharp enough to climb trees. Its life is a series of short but cruel bets, where a small mistake can be exchanged for death. Unlike lions or hyenas, which live in complex herds, cheetahs breed entirely alone. Males and females only meet for short periods of time, mainly to mate. When the female is in heat, she leaves scent marks on grass, tree trunks, and the ground to attract males from a distance. The encounters are quiet. Mating can last several times over several days, after which the male leaves, leaving the responsibility of raising the cubs to the female. After about 3 months of pregnancy, a female cheetah will give birth to 2 to 4 cubs. During the first several weeks, the mother moves her cubs frequently. The survival rate of cubs is very low. Only a small percentage of them can survive to adulthood. And that is also the reason why cheetahs are always alert to any movement around them, even when hunting. While quietly moving deep into the open, sniffing a herd of antelope in the distance, the cheetah suddenly stopped. The wind carried a familiar scent. Not the scent of blood, but the scent of a formidable competitor. The spotted fur moved slightly among the sparse foliage. It was not prey. It was a leopard. The cheetah's eyes narrowed, the muscles under its skin tensing with each breath. Ahead, the leopard was slowly approaching. 2 lone predators. The battle began. Both sides charged. The leopard could not fight long distances. It retreated. The leopard retreated slowly, each step showing confusion on its tense face, its tail fluttering with anxiety and fear. In a land where all life must fight to survive, there is no absolute victory. There are only moments of survival, where the strongest are not the most ferocious. But the one who knows when to quietly retreat or suddenly counterattack. Botswana, where every footprint in the grass tells a story. Every look, every pounce, every low growl is a primal instinct that has never been tamed. And when darkness falls on this land again, the battle will continue. No rest, no mercy. If you want to follow more wild encounters, survival instincts between predators, please subscribe to the channel and comment below so you don't miss any journey in the wild world. Serengeti, the battlefield of life and death. Dawn is rising over the Serengeti. The first light creeps over the horizon, covering the grasslands in a gentle, hazy layer of pale gold. The whole space seems to pause in an eternal moment, breathtakingly beautiful. A serenity so profound that it makes one forget that here, life always comes with danger. But in the Serengeti, peace is just a fragile shell. Under the gentle breezes that blow through the chest-high grass, a few faint movements begin to appear. Dark figures move slowly, hunched, necks low, ears erect. No need to roar, no need to run. Just silently moving through the grass like ghosts. That is the spotted hyena. They do not wait for the night to hunt. They do not need the speed of a leopard. They do not possess the strength of a lion. They are the embodiment of patience, strategy, and cold, ruthless determination. The hyena's eyes shine gold in the early morning sun, not because of the light, but because they have smelled meat. The smell of dung, dirt, and the most haunting, old blood, all swirling on the wind, guiding the way. In the distance, a herd of Senegal antelope moves slowly through a gap between two acacia bushes. Their reddish-brown fur glistens in the morning sun. Their ears swivel like living antennae, scanning the world around them for signals. But there is no sign that they are being followed. In the tall grass, a gentle movement splits the air. No shadow, no sound, only the gaze, golden, deep, steady. A cub strays to the edge of the herd, and that is enough. The wind was favorable. The moment was ripe, no alarm, no hissing. The hyenas moved like a wave, a quick encirclement, a decisive pounce, and the hunt was over before the sun rose above the trees. No roar, no gloating. Just the sound of flesh tearing, bone cracking, and eyes constantly scanning the area. Always alert for another predator. It was the prize. But keeping it was the real victory. The ground beneath them was cracked like scorched hide. The pungent smell of dust and dried dung hung in the air. The rains had not yet arrived, and the grasslands were dying in silence. A few days later, the food was gone. There was no more carrion, no more fresh blood. The wind carried only hoarse cries and lost eyes. The pack was now scattered, broken, suspicious, and dangerous to each other. Hunger was no longer a feeling. It became a state, a part of the gaze, of the breath, of the limp that could no longer conceal the decay of trust. Heads that had been bowed low began to lift, to examine each other. The line between kin and rival was blurred. No warning, no hissing, no hierarchical ritual. They rushed at each other. The first bite tore the fur off the neck. Blood spurted, a howl resounded. One was bitten, did not run, it bit back at the opponent's snout. The fight back, not for honor, but for life. The others did not stop. They joined. There was no longer a pack, only the instinct to survive. Feathers were torn from skin. Flesh was torn. One fell, its belly split open, its intestines spilling onto the ground. But even in its death throes, it still bit the leg of the one who had humbled it. A final bite, not for revenge, but for hunger. The pack, once forged in blood, discipline and cooperation, was now shattered. The old rules were gone. All that remained was bone, teeth, and a naked instinct screaming for survival. As the sun sank behind the steel-red horizon, only broken bodies remained. The few survivors dragged themselves into the darkness, their mouths still stained with the blood of their own kind. And in the Serengeti, where each dawn begins with nature's sentence, that was all that was needed. In the middle of the blazing Serengeti grasslands, the sun was burning the air with a harsh white light, making the ground explode in waves of heat. The wind was still, not a single acacia branch was moving, and nothing could block the heat from above. However, at the edge of the only tree in sight, a figure appeared. Unhurried, unhidden. It was an adult lioness, the core member of a local pride that dominated this land. Her fur was a pale golden color, blending perfectly with the burnt grass, allowing her to disappear completely when necessary. Her body was long and powerful, her shoulders and hips were thickly muscled, and her sinew stood out clearly under her tanned skin. Unlike the male lions who had manes, the female lions were built for speed, agility, and organization, and they were the main hunting machines of the pride. An adult lioness can weigh between 120 and 180 kgs and live for about 10 to 14 years in the wild. But longevity does not guarantee power. Her social status is tied to her role in the pride. Lionesses are not just hunters. They are the heart of the social structure, raising cubs, teaching survival skills, and passing on territorial memories to the next generation. A lion pride is one of the few big cats that live in groups. Usually consisting of 2 to 3 males, 6 to 12 females, and cubs. Each lioness in the pride is related by blood, being sisters, mothers, aunts, and nieces, creating a close cooperative system, especially in caring for cubs and hunting in groups. The breeding season is not fixed. When a lioness enters estrus, which usually lasts 4 to 8 days, she will actively seek out males in the pride. Unlike the ferocity of hunting, mating in lions occurs at a very high frequency. A pair can mate up to 40 times a day. The mating sessions are short, sometimes only a few dozen seconds, but continuous to ensure conception and prevent the male from leaving to mate with another female. After successful mating, the gestation period lasts about 110 days. When close to giving birth, the female lion will leave the pride, find a secluded place in the bushes or rocks to give birth. Usually only 1 to 4 cubs are born. Weighing about 1 to 2 kg, with leopard-like spotted fur, this stripe gradually fades as they grow up. During the first few weeks, the cubs are completely dependent on their mother, cannot walk, and cannot eat anything other than milk. During that time, the female lion hides her cubs from the pride to avoid being eaten, even by the males in the pride or other predators such as hyenas and leopards. Under the midday sun of the Serengeti, the lion pride has not left yet. The temperature continued to rise, but the shadows of the predators crept silently across the scorched grass. At the front edge of the group, an adult lioness was a few paces ahead, walking gracefully, her eyes fixed on the distance, where a herd of wildebeest had gathered in the low grass. This was not a female who had just given birth, not one who was shouldering the burden of motherhood, but a true hunter. Her belly was slim, her coat evenly tanned, showing no signs of nursing or being in heat. Instead, there was the calmness of one accustomed to distance, to wind, to waiting and determination. Her experienced gaze revealed the experience of many dry seasons, many missed hunts, and even bloody territorial challenges. The afternoon wind was as still as if holding its breath. On the vast plain, the ground was dark with heat, the edges of the dry grass curled as if roasted, and even the sound of insects faded, giving way to the kind of thick silence that precedes a fatal blow. In the burning yellow grass, nothing stood still. A group of lionesses were crouching low, moving close to the ground. No hurry, no signs. Each step was a precise measurement: distance, wind direction, the movement of prey. In the center, the oldest lioness led the way. Not necessarily the strongest, but the most experienced, with superior judgment. Her eyes locked on a single individual in the wildebeest herd scattered along the edge of the hollow. A young male, his gait offbeat, an alarming distance from the herd. The grassland seemed to be asleep, but the hunt had begun. It was a mature wildebeest bull, but still young, with an awkward gait, his head held higher than the more experienced ones, not keeping an even distance from the herd. Perhaps this was his first migration season. He had not yet absorbed the discipline of the herd. He did not know that the space between him and the herd was a hanging death sentence. Wildebeests are not slow, on the contrary. They run very fast, can reach 80 km/h. But speed is not everything. Reflexes, alertness, and understanding of the terrain are the decisive factors. And that the young wildebeest did not have. From the low grass, the pride of lionesses split in many directions. One kept in front. One circled from the left. One sneaked behind. The plan was formed. Everything happened in absolute silence. Only the sound of footsteps trampling on the dry grass was like the quiet, low notes of a deathly symphony. The wildebeest suddenly realized that something was wrong. Ears pricked up, nostrils twitched. It turned its head. And at that moment, the lioness in front of it charged forward like a golden shadow, dust rising like a wave. The antelope reacted instinctively, turning and running. But it could only run in the direction the other two were waiting for. There was no escape. A precise pounce from the left sent the antelope crashing to the ground. Its legs thrashed wildly, its horns jerked, but its claws were already deep in its neck. The second lion pinned its chest, clamping its hind legs. And then the fateful bite. Fangs sank into its throat. No blood spurted, just a soft, choking sound. Then silence. The dust had not settled. The grass had not yet sprung back. The herd of antelopes in the distance was still running, but no one turned their heads. Instinct told them, if you run, you live. The lionesses stood around the carcass. No roaring, no fighting. Their heads bowed, not in respect, but in the knowledge that the meal was the reward for perfect coordination. And in the blazing sun of the Serengeti, where there is no room for naivety, every moment was an unannounced test. Those who passed lived. Those who were not ready became part of a chain of life extended by claws and teeth. The midday sun still beat down on the Serengeti grasslands like an unwavering curtain of fire. The dry grass swayed gently in the wind, but it could not ease the tension that had just subsided after the hunt. In the distance, the wildebeest continued to move, without a moment's pause, without a backward glance. The death of an individual was accepted, overcome, as if it had never happened, because here life did not stop to mourn. On the ground, still stained with blood, the lions had begun their meal. There was no roaring, no fighting. They ate in silence, an order formed by instinct and a role established over the years. It was not cruelty, nor was it victory. It was just another link in the closed circle of nature. When the meal was over, the lions stood up, shook the dust off their shoulders and quietly left in the hot sun. They did not look back. There was no need to look back, for the cycle would continue, with or without them. But today they survived. They perpetuated their species. They kept their place in the complex and ruthless web of the wild. And as the sun began to set in the west, their shadows lengthened across the grasslands, not just as the figures of predators, but as living symbols of ancient strength, coordination and order, as old as the savannah had roared and the footprints of dinosaurs had not yet been erased.